Most people waste their strongest energy without even realizing it. They wake up tired, distracted, emotionally weak, and mentally scattered. And little by little, their dreams start dying inside them. What if I told you that the same energy behind desire can also build wealth? What if your attraction, passion, and emotional intensity are not problems? What if they are hidden power waiting to be redirected? Ancient civilizations understood something modern people forgot. They knew that sexual energy was not only about pleasure. It was also creative energy, life force, and personal magnetism. The tragedy is that many people today leak this energy daily. Then they wonder why they feel empty, unmotivated, and spiritually disconnected. This video may completely change the way you see yourself forever. The ancient Egyptians believed energy moves where attention goes. And wherever energy flows consistently, reality begins to change. That means your thoughts are not harmless little voices in your head. Your focus is shaping your future every single day. When your mind is addicted to pleasure, your power becomes weak. But when your mind becomes disciplined, your energy becomes magnetic. Suddenly your words carry weight and your actions gain force. People begin to notice something different about you. Not because you became lucky, but because you stopped leaking power. Many people are physically alive but spiritually exhausted. They consume non-stop stimulation without understanding the cost. And slowly they lose connection with their deeper purpose. Look around carefully at modern society. People are constantly distracted by entertainment and instant pleasure. Their attention is being harvested every single day. Many no longer know how to sit quietly with themselves. Silence now feels uncomfortable because the mind became overstimulated. Ancient wisdom warned about this kind of inner chaos long ago, because a distracted mind can never build a meaningful life. You cannot create wealth with scattered attention. You cannot transform yourself while constantly escaping yourself. And this is where self-awakening truly begins. The moment you notice your own unconscious habits. The moment you realize your energy has been misused for years. Sexual energy is one of the strongest forces inside human beings. It creates life, emotions, ambition, creativity, and deep connection. That is why uncontrolled desire can either destroy or elevate someone. Some people become slaves to impulse and temporary pleasure. Others learn to redirect that same energy into discipline and creation. This is not about suppressing emotions or pretending desire is evil. It is about learning mastery over your own inner world. Because if you cannot control yourself, the world will control you easily. Ancient Egyptians understood the importance of inner balance deeply. They believed true power begins with self-control and awareness. Not the fake power of dominance or loud behavior, but the quiet power of inner discipline and focused intention. So ask yourself something honestly today. Where has your energy been going lately? Into growth or into endless distraction? Into purpose or into temporary pleasure? Most people never ask themselves these uncomfortable questions. That is why they remain stuck in the same cycles for years. But awareness changes everything once it truly enters your mind. Because you can never unsee what you finally understand. This video is not here to shame you or judge you. It is here to wake up the sleeping part of your mind. The part that knows you were meant for something greater. The part that is tired of living beneath your real potential. The first secret is understanding that sexual energy is creative energy. It is the same force behind motivation and ambition. When you feel deeply alive, energized, and emotionally intense, that energy can become productive. But most people immediately waste it through impulsive behavior. Instead of creating something meaningful, they chase temporary satisfaction. And afterward, they often feel drained, guilty, or mentally weak. Ancient wisdom taught that energy should be circulated, not wasted carelessly. This does not mean becoming emotionless or cold. It means becoming conscious of where your attention goes daily. Because attention is energy and energy creates outcomes. Every successful person learns how to focus their energy intentionally. And that focus eventually becomes money, influence, and transformation. The second secret is learning the power of delayed gratification. Modern society trains people to want everything instantly. Fast pleasure, fast entertainment, fast validation, and fast escape. But real transformation requires patience and inner discipline. The people who control themselves often control their future too. When you stop reacting to every impulse, your mind becomes clearer. Your confidence starts coming from within instead of external approval. You begin thinking long-term instead of emotionally, and slowly your decisions become wiser and more powerful. Many people destroy opportunities because they cannot delay pleasure. They sacrifice their future for temporary emotional relief. But disciplined energy creates stability, focus, and long-term success. The third secret is transmutation through purpose. You cannot simply remove desire without replacing it with direction. Empty discipline eventually turns into frustration. That is why purpose matters deeply in self-awakening. Your energy needs somewhere meaningful to flow toward. Maybe it is business, fitness, creativity, learning, or building a better life. The moment your mind becomes obsessed with growth, everything changes. You stop wasting hours on meaningless distractions. You start protecting your energy because your future becomes important to you. And suddenly your habits begin transforming naturally. Purpose gives energy a higher destination. Without purpose, people usually return to old patterns quickly. Another ancient principle is solitude and silence. The modern world fears silence because silence reveals truth. When you sit quietly with yourself, uncomfortable realizations appear. You begin noticing your addictions and emotional wounds clearly. At first, this feels painful and even frightening, because many people spend years running away from themselves internally. But self-awakening begins when you stop escaping your own mind. Silence helps you hear your deeper thoughts honestly. It allows your inner world to reorganize itself slowly. Many powerful ideas are born in quiet moments. That is why disciplined people protect time alone carefully. Because solitude strengthens awareness and awareness strengthens power. The fifth secret is understanding emotional energy. Many people think attraction is only physical, but it is deeper than that. Energy affects the way you speak, think, and carry yourself. When your mind is constantly overstimulated, your presence weakens naturally. People can feel scattered energy even without words. But focused energy creates calm confidence and emotional strength. This is why some people walk into rooms and instantly command attention. Not because they are perfect, but because they are internally grounded. Their energy is not leaking everywhere emotionally. They learned how to become centered within themselves. And this changes relationships, opportunities, and personal success. Inner balance always becomes visible externally over time. The sixth secret is mastering the mind before chasing money. Many people want wealth without inner control. But money only amplifies who you already are internally. An undisciplined mind often creates self-destruction after success arrives. That is why some wealthy people still feel empty inside. External success cannot replace inner alignment and awareness. Ancient teachings focused heavily on mental mastery first, because your habits shape your destiny more than motivation does. Every repeated action becomes part of your identity eventually, and your identity shapes the life you experience daily. So before asking how to become rich, ask yourself something deeper. Can you trust yourself with power, freedom, and responsibility? Another important realization is that energy follows emotion. When you constantly feel hopeless, your actions become weak. When you feel inspired, your energy becomes stronger automatically. That is why your environment matters more than you think. The people around you influence your mental state deeply. If you surround yourself with negativity and distraction, your focus suffers. But when you surround yourself with growth-minded energy, transformation becomes easier. Protecting your mind is not selfish. It is necessary for building a meaningful life. Your future depends heavily on what enters your mind daily. Most people underestimate the psychological effect of their environment, and slowly they become reflections of the chaos around them. The eighth secret is consistency over intensity. Many people feel motivated for 2 days and disappear afterward. Real transformation is built quietly over long periods of time. Small disciplined actions repeated daily become powerful eventually. This is how self-respect is built internally. You begin trusting yourself because your actions match your intentions. And confidence naturally grows from self-trust. Not from pretending to be strong online. Not from seeking validation from strangers constantly. But from keeping promises to yourself repeatedly. That inner integrity changes the way you carry yourself. And people naturally respond differently to grounded energy. Another hidden truth is that fear controls many people silently. Fear of loneliness, rejection, failure, and emotional discomfort. So they constantly distract themselves to avoid facing reality. But avoidance slowly destroys inner strength over time. Every time you run from discomfort, your mind becomes weaker. Every time you face yourself honestly, your mind becomes stronger. This is why awakening often feels uncomfortable at first. You begin seeing truths you previously ignored about your habits and mindset. But discomfort is not always punishment. Sometimes discomfort is the beginning of transformation. Growth usually starts where denial finally ends. And awareness is often painful before it becomes freeing. The final secret is understanding that true wealth starts internally. Money without peace often creates more suffering. But inner discipline creates stability no matter your circumstances. When your energy becomes focused, your decisions improve naturally. You stop chasing every distraction emotionally. You become more intentional with your time and attention. And slowly opportunities begin appearing more clearly to you. Not because magic suddenly happened overnight, but because your mind finally became aligned with growth. People who master themselves often move differently through life. They become calm in chaos and focused under pressure. That inner transformation eventually changes their outer reality too. Most people never realize how powerful they truly are internally. They spend years searching outside themselves for answers. Meanwhile, their greatest energy remains undisciplined and misdirected. The modern world profits from weak attention and emotional confusion. That is why self-awareness feels rare today. A focused mind is dangerous to systems built on distraction. Because awakened people become harder to manipulate emotionally. They begin questioning unhealthy habits and meaningless routines deeply. And slowly they reclaim control over their own lives. This is why inner transformation matters more than people think. It changes not only your mindset but your entire direction in life. And it all begins with awareness of your own energy. You do not need to become perfect overnight. Transformation is not about pretending to be spiritually superior. It is about becoming more conscious day by day. Some days you will fail and lose focus again. But awareness allows you to return to yourself faster. That is what growth really looks like in real life. Not perfection, but conscious improvement over time. Every disciplined decision strengthens your future identity. Every moment of awareness changes your mental direction slightly. And eventually small changes become a completely different life. This is how inner evolution quietly happens. One conscious choice repeated again and again. Think about how much energy people waste daily. Hours lost to distraction, emotional impulses, and empty stimulation. Imagine redirecting even half of that energy into growth. Into business, learning, creativity, health, or meaningful goals. Your entire reality could begin changing slowly. Not because of luck, but because your focus changed. Focused energy creates momentum, and momentum creates results. This is one of the deepest psychological truths about transformation. Your life follows the direction of your repeated attention. And many people never realize this until years later. By then, regret becomes heavier than discipline ever was. Do not wait until your potential becomes buried under distraction. The frightening truth is that many people never wake up mentally. They live on autopilot for most of their lives. Their habits control them more than their awareness does. They become emotionally reactive to everything around them. And slowly their inner power disappears without them noticing. This is why self-reflection matters deeply. You must observe your thoughts and behaviors honestly sometimes. Otherwise, unconscious patterns will silently shape your future. Awareness may feel uncomfortable, but ignorance is far more dangerous. because ignorance keeps people trapped inside invisible prisons mentally. And the saddest prison is the one you cannot even see. That is why awakening begins with honest observation of yourself. But there is also hope hidden inside this realization, because once you become aware, change becomes possible. You are not trapped forever in old habits and patterns. Your mind can be retrained through conscious repetition. Your energy can be redirected toward meaningful creation, and your future can slowly become different from your past. This is the beauty of human transformation. People can evolve beyond who they used to be, not instantly but gradually through awareness and discipline. Every day becomes another chance to reclaim your energy, another chance to become more intentional with your life, another chance to awaken the strongest version of yourself. Ancient wisdom was never really about magic or mystery alone. It was about understanding human nature deeply, understanding the mind, emotions, attention, and inner balance. The Egyptians observed how energy affects behavior and destiny, and modern psychology is now rediscovering many similar truths. Your internal state shapes your external experience constantly. That is why protecting your mind matters so much. What you consume mentally becomes part of your inner world, and your inner world eventually shapes your outer reality. So choose carefully what influences your attention daily, because attention is one of the most valuable forms of energy, and where attention goes, life slowly follows. Do not underestimate the power of silence and self-control. Quiet discipline often creates louder results than empty noise. The strongest people are not always the loudest people. Sometimes strength looks like emotional restraint and focused consistency. Sometimes strength means walking away from destructive habits silently. Sometimes strength means choosing long-term growth over temporary pleasure. That quiet decision can completely change a person's future. But few people realize this early enough in life. They confuse freedom with lack of discipline, when in reality true freedom comes from self-mastery internally. Because when you control yourself, fewer things can control you, and that changes the entire quality of your life. Remember this carefully as you move forward after this video. Your energy is either building you or draining you daily. There is no neutral direction in unconscious living. Every habit is shaping your future identity slowly. Every thought repeated consistently becomes stronger over time. So feed your mind with intention and awareness. Protect your focus like your future depends on it. Because honestly, it probably does. Do not allow temporary impulses to steal long-term purpose. There is too much potential sleeping inside you right now. Potential that only discipline and awareness can unlock. Potential that may completely transform your life one day. And maybe the greatest secret of all is this. Money itself is not the true goal. The real goal is becoming someone capable of handling power wisely. Because external success without inner growth often leads to emptiness. But inner alignment creates peace even during difficult seasons. That peace becomes confidence and clarity internally. And clarity changes the way you move through life. You stop chasing meaningless things desperately. You become more grounded, intentional, and emotionally aware. That is the beginning of true transformation. Not becoming someone fake or superior, but becoming more conscious of who you already are inside. If this video opened your mind in any way, remember this feeling. Do not let this realization disappear after a few minutes. Take some time alone and reflect honestly tonight. Ask yourself where your energy has been going lately. Ask yourself what kind of future your current habits are creating. And ask yourself whether you are truly awake or just distracted. Sometimes one honest question can change an entire life direction. Awareness begins the moment denial finally ends. And transformation begins the moment responsibility is accepted fully. You have more power within you than you currently realize. But only conscious action can unlock that hidden potential. And nobody can do that inner work for you except yourself. If this message resonated deeply with you, make sure you like this video. Share it with someone who needs this awakening too. Subscribe for more deep conversations about self-awareness and transformation. And in the comments, tell me one thing you realized about yourself today. Maybe your realization could awaken someone else reading it. Your journey toward transformation starts with honest awareness. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. The life you want may require a different version of you, and that version is waiting to be awakened inside already. Thank you for watching until the end. Protect your energy and protect your mind carefully, because your future is being shaped by both every single day.